So, in closing, just summing up what this would actually look like in a grade 10 classroom, it would be a classroom that is set up or approached similarly to what they were used to in grade 9 so that they're still comfortable. The expectations will be increased from grade 9 and will be directly scaffolded to help funnel the kids into grade 11 style thinking. The inquiry based instruction will be open ended, hands on, student centered. It will embrace several different approaches to inquiry based on the instruction, including structured, guided, and open inquiry. So it won't necessarily always be open ended questions by any means. However, there will be a substantial amount of open inquiry that is an approach that is similar to guided inquiry, but has the addition that students also formulate their own problem to investigate. So, open inquiry in many ways is analogous to doing science. So, it's science fair activities, it's open ended questions, it's group work, it's an activity where students may be given something like batteries, bulbs, wires, and other materials they might need, and then given a goal to come up with, and then they're investigating how all of these things may link together to get to their goal. So if the goal is to have the bulb light up, so with their prior knowledge of how a light works, given that they've all used them before, whether they have a desk lamp or an overhead light or something, they're familiar with the idea that you put the batteries in, there's some wires, it all connects up to a bulb, and it works. So they can build an electrical circuit that way. And while you're going to have to teach a more formal lesson, potentially after the fact, to explain how each component works, you can also they're also learning on their own, and they're going to remember this project type group work. So the classroom will also have a teacher who will support inquiry-based instruction. They will believe in the value of students having some element of control over what they will do and how they'll behave. So it's handing the priority of education back to the students. It's letting them decide to take their education seriously and be able to guide their own learning to an extent. So it really does have the IB characteristics to it, where the student is taking responsibility for their learning. They're developing themselves as a whole as we focus on their creativity and critical thinking. And the way we're doing that is having teachers ask more open ended questions in a scaffolded fashion to be able to, by the end, in theory, of grade 10 or early grade 11, be able to just give them a question and let them play with it. So let it sink in, not have to do a whole lot of scaffolding. It's teaching them to think for themselves without having to be spoon-fed all the information like they probably were in elementary years. So in the primary years where you're giving them more information, we're starting to take that away, but still scaffolding the expectations and still letting students know that we're here and we're still going to help them and we're going to guide them, but we're not going to cave and give them the answers just because they give us a blank stare for a minute or so. So overall, the idea of open-ended questions really is the center of the IB program. Whether it is distinctly written in the program or not, it would be very difficult to work through the IB program and promote creativity without having open-ended questions.